Hey there, it's Amelia from Sleepopolis, and today I'm going to be comparing two mattresses from Canadian mattress brand Silk & Snow, the Silk & Snow and the Silk & Snow Hybrid. In this video, I'll go over our results from testing these beds here in our studio, as well as make some recommendations for who might like each of these beds. Before we get started, I do want to let you know that mattress brands, including Silk & Snow, send us beds for free to review and to tell you about. And if you buy either of these beds using our links in the description, we may earn a commission at no additional cost to you. That helps us to fund our testing and bring you these reviews for free. Okay, let's get into it. First up, let's go over what's similar between these mattresses. First, these beds are from the same brand, Silk & Snow, so they come with the same policies. They both ship for free, have a 100-night sleep trial, and a 15-year warranty. Next, these mattresses incorporate some of the same materials in their construction. Finally, I would say both of these beds are pretty affordable. The Silk & Snow costs about $800 and the Hybrid costs about $900. Now let's go over what makes them different. First up, the Silk & Snow is an all-foam bed, while the Hybrid uses both foams and coils. Second, these beds differ a lot in feel. The Hybrid is more medium firm with some contouring, while the Silk & Snow is quite firm. Finally, the Hybrid is about 2 inches taller than the Silk & Snow. Okay, now that we've covered some high-level similarities and differences, let's talk about the construction of these two mattresses. First up are the covers. Both mattresses have an antimicrobial cover, although the Hybrid's is quilted with foam and fiber fill for some extra plushness. Then come the comfort layers. Both mattresses have a 2-inch layer of gel memory foam. Next, the Silk & Snow has a transition layer, which the Hybrid does not have. This is a 2-inch section of foam that eases the sleeper between the comfort layer and the support. Speaking of support, the Silk & Snow has a 6-inch section of support foam to provide the base of the mattress. The Hybrid has a section of pocketed coils, which are zoned for lumbar support. That means the coils in the middle of the bed are a bit firmer than the rest, which provides support around the lower back. Additionally, the Hybrid has a foam encasement around the edge of the coils to provide reinforced edge support. Now let's talk about the firmness and feel of these beds. Here at Sleepopolis, we rate firmness on a scale from 1 to 10, where 1 is the softest and 10 is the firmest, and we use 6.5 as the standard for medium firm. Now, we rated the Silk & Snow as a 7.5 out of 10, meaning it is significantly firmer than average. We felt very little sinkage on this bed and overall felt really lifted up on top of the surface. Really, it's just a very firm bed. But we felt the Silk & Snow Hybrid was more of a true medium firm, rating it a 6.5 out of 10. It has a really nice mix of support, but also with some pressure relief. Now that we've covered the construction and firmness of these mattresses, let's talk about how different sleeping positions might fare on these beds. Your primary sleeping position is an important consideration when you're shopping for a mattress, as every position has different needs as far as pressure relief and support. So for back sleepers, pretty much most mattresses will work as long as they're comfortable and supportive. For side sleepers, we generally recommend something a little bit softer to provide pressure relief at the shoulder and hip. And for stomach sleepers, we usually recommend something a little bit firmer to keep the hips lifted up to prevent lower back pain. Let's talk about back sleepers. I think both of these mattresses are good options for back sleepers, as they provide good support to maintain spinal alignment. The Silk & Snow is definitely firmer, which can work well for some folks with back pain. Being a little softer, the Hybrid offers a little bit more plush cushioning. For side sleepers, the Silk & Snow is pretty much a no-go for me. It is way too firm to provide enough pressure relief around the shoulder and hip. The Hybrid works better for side sleepers, although ideally I would like a slightly softer bed. For stomach sleepers, the Hybrid isn't a very good option, as it's too soft and I felt my hips sinking into the material. However, the Silk & Snow felt much more comfortable. I didn't feel my hips sinking in, but I will note that heavier folks might, since this mattress doesn't have any springs to provide that uplift. Let's now look at the results from our pressure map test. We use a heat mapping pressure map to show where pressure is building up along the body while lying on a mattress. Blues and greens indicate low pressure, while reds and oranges indicate higher pressure. For this video, I'll just be looking at the side sleeping results from our pressure map test, as pressure relief is the most important for side sleepers. Looking at the Silk & Snow, there is some definite pressure buildup, especially around my shoulder. This pretty much reflects how I felt on this bed. It really isn't comfortable for side sleeping since it's so firm. The results for the Hybrid are much better, with very small amounts of pressure showing. Two other tests we use to assess a bed are motion isolation and edge support, and both these tests are important for couples shopping for a mattress to share together. Now, motion isolation refers to a bed's ability to isolate motion at the source and prevent it from transferring across the bed. So if your partner is tossing and turning over there, how much you're going to feel it over here. Edge support refers to how well the perimeter of a bed bears weight. So if you're sitting or lying along the edge, how much the edge is going to be sagging or dipping down. In our motion test, the Silk & Snow did not perform very well. We saw a good bit of motion transfer, so the materials don't seem to do much to isolate it. However, the hybrid actually showed very little motion transfer, so it had much better results overall. As far as edge support, the Silk & Snow's edge held up pretty well when sitting and lying along the edge. There was a small amount of sinkage, but this is a pretty good result, especially for an all-foam bed. For the hybrid, the edge seemed pretty good while lying down, but we saw a lot of sinkage while sitting, so these were less impressive results. Okay, with everything we've covered in mind, who should get the Silk & Snow? First up, folks who love a firmer feel should enjoy the Silk & Snow. It is quite firm and you don't sink into it much at all. Next, it could be a great fit for many back sleepers as it offers a good amount of support, and the firmness could help some sleepers with back pain. Finally, the Silk & Snow tested better for edge support, so it may be better for folks who like to spread all the way out to the edge. And who should get the Silk & Snow hybrid? First up, back and side sleepers should both be happy with the medium firm feel of this bed. Next, hot sleepers may prefer the hybrid as the coils will allow for more airflow in this bed, which helps to prevent hot air from being trapped. Finally, couples easily disturbed by motion should appreciate this bed's good motion isolation. Well folks, that is it for today's Silk & Snow mattress comparison. I hope you found this video helpful and that one of these mattresses might be a good option for you. If you want to learn more about these two beds or see some more great options, just click the link in the description or head over to sleepopolis.com. We have a ton more mattress reviews, sleep product reviews, sleep health information, and exclusive coupons you may want to check out. But don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you go, and I'll see you next time. Bye!